r/AskReddit. Teachers of Reddit, what are some of the weirdest things you've confiscated from a student? A pencil with a bunch of glued on dong-shaped confetti. Today I learned there's dong-shaped confetti. A taxidermied kookaburra. She taught herself how to do it from books. It was not done well. Kookaburra sits in the old gum tree. Very dead on the road was he. A white lacy thong from a kindergartner. She was wearing it on her head. Reminds me of that one Vine. Hey Jason, what's on your face? A sticker. A vitamin B12 vape pen. Didn't know they existed. It was a 9-year-old. In class. Now watch the kids vaping e-cigs get shamed for not smoking a vitamin vape. A homemade arrow made with a pencil and a modified razor blade. Was this in prison? Nope. High school in average town, USA. Sounds like an average town to me. The student that the teacher confiscated the homemade arrow from probably looked like just an average student too. Yeah, quiet, but otherwise normal. He's in the Marines now, pretty successful. Placed first when I took him to our regional physics Olympiad in the ping pong ball launcher event. No shocker there, smiley face. A sugar glider. Kept hearing a high-pitched squeak in class. Noticed she had a small animal in her jacket pocket when it decided to poke its head out. A student brought one of these to my class. I teach college, so that was fine and I was super excited and she let me hold it. The students were busy doing some group work, and when they were just about done I went to hand it back to her. It then proceeded to leap down the front of my shirt and attach itself to my bra. So now I'm supposed to be lecturing again, but this girl's sugar glider is not only sitting in my cleavage, but running around under my shirt. More than half the class had no idea why I was distracted, or why I shoved my hand down between my boobs until I finally got the little guy out. The following year a different student's hedgehog peed on me. What kind of college do you work at? I only ever saw puppas in class. It's a state university. It's my classroom. If somebody mentions that they have a sugar glider or a therapy hedgehog, you bet your ass I'm going to tell them to bring it in. Professor Cool as frick. Checking in. I saw a very new bunny in the music department at college once. Also a very small puppy. One of the music majors loved animals. In music class this kid Oliver pulls out a Matchbox car and starts playing. Teacher takes it, turn around, places it on piano, turns back. He's already gotten the next one out of his pocket and it back to playing. So, she took it again. Rinse repeat. Funniest it ever to an 8-year-old. We laughed so freaking hard. Sounds like something my 9-year did this year. Today's the last day of school and I have to go in and get them all from the office plus his camera, lol. This kid will someday fill a swimming pool with Matchbox cars and would jump on it from the height of 10 meters. I taught English in South Korea for a year. One time I caught a kid doing the old comic book inside a textbook routine. I was surprised. I didn't know kids did that. After laughing I confiscated his comic book. In my school we used to do that, but have non-fiction books inside fiction. For some reason during our library lessons we could borrow non-fiction, but during the lesson we had to read fiction. So this was what a lot of kids did. I love that you had to sneak to read NF. Most of my students hate non-fiction. Maybe I should restrict it so they'll like it more? Mayo reverse psychology definitely works. A raccoon peanuts toothpick. He kept poking other kids with it. Sigh. What? Most mammals have bones in their peanuts. Look up walruses if you want to be amazed. So they kill the coon, cut its cock, carve the bone. Sorry, I couldn't think of a C word for bone, sad face. Calcium? Camp counselor here. We have permission to go through bags to confiscate prohibited items like food and electronics and knives. One girl had a Tupperware full of what looked like the oldest peanut butter imaginable smeared all over the Tupperware. I brought it to my co-workers, and we all tried to smell it, but it smelled different to all of us. Literally no clue what this it was. Asked the girl about it one day and she goes, that's my plant, like it's obvious. Apparently it was some kind of fungus or algae to apply to sunburns. What the frick? Aloe. Mold yellow? Google is returning nothing for fungus and sunburn. I think I should actually be thankful for that. Not confiscated, but actually given as a gift. A bag of her hair. A bag of every strand of hair she's had cut since birth. That's probably the oddest one here, honestly. It was definitely the weirdest thing I've ever received as a gift. She was so excited about it, too. I knew the mum well, so I messaged her asking if she had meant to give that to me. Apparently, she had stolen it from her keepsake box. I happily returned it. Not gagging over it was the hardest thing ever, especially because I was newly pregnant and had awful morning sickness. I can only imagine. How old was the kid, out of curiosity? After a certain age this gets into the really weird territory, Second grade, so 7 or 8 years old. Okay, that makes a little more sense. Her mum probably put a lot of value on the items in her keepsake box and the kid wanted to give her teacher something that meant a lot. What better than something from the keepsake box? Kid probably didn't even realize at the time how creepy it was. Not a teacher, but a kid brought a human skull to school. I think the teacher just had a conversation with him about it. Was it real? Yes. Those things are super expensive. Try selling yours and you'll find out why. It hurts. My father took a cleaver off a student. My dad was doing lunch duty and saw the kid open his jacket and motion his buddies to have a look. Turns out there was going to be a fight after school. My dad knew the kid and asked him to step into the hallway. He got the cleaver off the kid and took him to the office. I'm not sure what his punishment was, but pre-Columbine, so who knows. In 7th grade I accidentally brought a hunting knife to school. I'd been playing with it at home, flipping it and trying to catch it by the handle. I was doing this while it was fastened in a sheath, so no danger or anything. Well, I missed and dropped it. Couldn't find where it went and figured I'd just find it later. Well, I forgot about it. Fast forward about a week. It's the end of the day and I'm cleaning out my backpack at school. Found the knife at the bottom of the bag. Yeah, I'd been carrying the thing to and from school for a week and didn't know. I just shoved it back into the bag before anyone saw and then took it out once I got home. So lucky I didn't get caught with it. I did the same once, except this was in England and the knife was a banana and I'd lost it for over a month. I did this too, except it was in Texas and the banana was a pet fish and the backpack was my sock drawer. I've done this too. But the fish was an onion and the sock drawer was my chili. I've done this too. But the onion was chili and the chili was my office. A little orange lizard in a box with a Charizard Pokemon card taped to it. To the box or the lizard? To the box. What a disgusting lack of commitment. I think he was trying to package it. Something like a picture of what is inside or something. The naked lady booby lighter. Kid was 7th or 8th grade in an alternative school setting. He was always sneaking stuff in his pockets and getting it taken up. We are walking to lunch and my assistant stops suddenly. He comes back with a metal naked woman torso in his hand. You could press one boob and the flame came out of the other. It was fantastic. It was super popular in the office for the few days until mum came to pick it up. She was really glad to get family heirloom back. When I was in junior high, 7th and 8th grade, I sold the naked lady booby ink pen. While you're writing, she had clothes on, but turn it upside down and her clothes would come off. I could buy a box of a dozen $4 too and I was selling them $4 one. EA. Made a mint. Student. A teacher confiscated a dildo from a student. This was in 7th grade. After reading the title my first thought was, I'm sure there will be a dildo comment here. I click and I see yours first. I had to confiscate a 7th grader's iPad because he was looking up anime girl body pillows. Somewhat related. My wife got a kid banned from Chroma books in school because he was trying to look at peen on them, but he was in middle school so he was really bad at it. So like, she saw him looking at inappropriate pictures and he said it was an accident, so she went into the search history. It was image search for girls, hot girls underwear, hot girls 6, hot girls X, hot girls 6 is brilliant. A bottle of passion fruit lube brought in by a 4-year-old, making all her friends smell her fruity hand cream. Poor mama must have had a long night and mixed up her eczema cream. A brick decorated with hentai in the locker of a 14-year-old boy. He was very different, that kid. Not a confiscation, but when my 4-5-year-olds were getting changed for PE, a little girl opened their bag and out fell a bunch of very exy lingerie. 10 minutes later at the window I have a very red mum with the correct kit in hand saying she mixed up the dry cleaning with the daughter's PE kit. I pretended I hadn't seen. Bonus edit. When I asked him why he brought it in, he said for the skulls of my enemies. He didn't have friends, but not because he was odd. Even the odd kids hated his guts, but because he was horrible and obnoxious to everyone. Worked on his social skills with him for a long time and allowed him to run a manga club in my classroom Friday lunch times. Whilst I was in there, he made friends in the end and had a much nicer life since that club. He's a happy 18-year-old now with a girlfriend and kid, smiley face. Having a kid at 16 was the normal in the deprived area, so him having a family, his own place and a job he enjoys is good. He messages me on Facebook every now and then to check in and tell me how his life is. Just because that's not happiness to some of you, please do not hit on his. A brick decorated with hentai? What? Congrats, you've made it to the end. You're a beast. Like and subscribe for more r/AskReddit content. It's free, so why not just do it?